Have a seat up on your lift. Cross your legs in the center of your shins. Find a comforting experience for your feet. It can be the one where you push the heels out. It can be the one where you turn them up. Or maybe you're even choosing a more neutral space in between those, which is fine as well. But know what you're choosing. This is a meditation in action. It's a moving meditation. Right, in the Zen tradition, they have a walking meditation. So it's another type of moving meditation. Ensure that your shoulders are over your hips. Let the conversations from before, any swirling thoughts in your head, let them move to the back bottom part of your brain. And give yourself permission to drop your awareness into the body. We usually find blockages in the body. The idea is to allow the intelligence to spread to each and every cell of the body. And as we go through this practice, we find areas of the body which don't quite have the intelligence, or the intelligence isn't spreading there at this moment. So can you find those places and seek to penetrate there? Allow for a lengthening of the inner thighs, from the inner knees to the lower abdomen, from the lower abdomen to the inner knees. Maintaining that lengthening draw from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips, creating a firm, steady base, a stable base. And then more importantly than taking those actions is the observation of the effects of those actions. So can you become the seer and observe? And for those who may have been practicing for some time now, maybe you can understand the role of the seer and the role of the seen, the doer and the watcher. And every once in a while, see if you can take on both roles. And for those that might be newer to the practice, every once in a while, see if you can take on the role of the seer, the observer, and watch you, your body, your mind as you experience, not just do the pose. We don't do asana. We practice asana, we experience asana. Lengthen through your side ribs. Become the seer, observe the results of those actions. Drop the shoulders away from the sides of your neck. Lengthen the inner arms from the inner armpits to the inner elbows. That's the doer. Become the seer. Observe the results of those actions. Bring the palms together at the chest. Touch the palms evenly, left to right, right to left. Become the seer. Observe the results. Imagine you are not you watching you. Let's chant the syllable Om 3 times together. Exhaling completely. Deep inhalation. Om. lifting your sternum towards the ceiling, lower your chin towards your heart. Release your hands onto your thighs with your palms up. With your eyes closed, raise your head. From the back of your head, gently let your eyelids open. All right, let's start off lying back and take hold of a strap. And Veronica, start with your right side away from the wall, and you're gonna have to turn around, okay? So lie back, take hold of a strap. Bend your right leg into your chest, put the strap around your foot where the heel meets the arch, and straighten your leg. Soft grip with your hands. Take your heel above the hip. Soften your shoulders and your face. Press the thigh bone back. So not just the knee, but the thigh, where the thigh meets the hip, press that whole thigh back. Lengthen through the inner leg, from the inner thigh, through the inner knee, through the heel, through the inner ankle, push through the ball of the big toe. And then remember, as we lengthen the inner leg, there's also the drawing back from the upper inner thigh towards the abdomen. Draw from the outer knee to the outer hip, and take the outer hip away from your shoulder, so that the two sides of your torso are equal in length. But as soon as we lift that leg up, there's a tendency to bring that hip towards the shoulder and shorten the side of the body. Can you keep that hip moving away from the shoulder, the thigh and hip moving back together even? And then taking a moment to take the role of witnesser. What are the results of these actions? Now, without letting your foot move away from your face or your hip moving towards your shoulder, take your left heel, drag it on the floor, and straighten your left leg. The left thigh presses down, again, not the knee, but the thigh. So both thighs press back. Extend both inner legs and draw from the outer knees to the outer hips. So even though the legs are in separate directions or in different directions, they have a similar experience. That right outer hip moving away from your right shoulder. Get that right leg as straight as you are able today, not by pressing the knee back, but by lengthening through the inner leg. Don't just jam the knee back. There is an opening of the back of the knee, yes, and those strands lengthen, but don't just push the knee back. Bend your legs, switch legs. Take the left leg up. Soft hands, soft shoulders, press the thigh back. Again, when the thigh meets the hip, the outer hip moves back as well. Lengthening through the inner leg. But again, as you lengthen through the inner leg, from the inner thigh, through the inner knee, through the inner ankle, through the ball of the big toe, remember that opposite action of the upper inner thigh drawing back towards the abdomen. Draw from the outer knee to the outer hip. As you draw from the outer knee to the outer hip, that outer hip still moving away from the shoulder. So the sides of the body are even. The hip moving back, the thigh moving back. becoming the seer for a moment, witnessing now. And then keeping the foot where it is, keeping the hip where it is, drag the right heel on the floor. Straighten that leg. The thigh presses down. Again, softening the hands and the shoulders. Lengthening the inner legs, drawing from the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact the hips together. That left outer hip moving away from your shoulder. Bend the legs. Take this, put the straps to the side for a moment. We'll go back to it in a second. Straighten the legs on the floor. Feet together, heels together, toes together. Interlock your thumbs together and extend your arms overhead. So your body is extending in one straight line on the floor. So feet together, heels together, toes point straight up at the ceiling. Little toes move back towards you. You have enough room there? And it's the not the fingers, but the thumbs. So Leanne, Carla, that's it. Toes up. That's it, good. Carla, watch your knees pressing down so hard. Press your heels down. Press your heels down. So heels together, toes together, or the balls of the toes together. Make sure your heels are pressing down. Now it's true the thighs press down too, but if your heels come up, you're pressing your knees down. So press your thigh bones down, but press your heels down even more. And lengthen through the inner legs. Draw the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips. Lengthen through the side ribs. Watch the front ribs moving towards the ceiling. Take the front bottom ribs towards the back body. And open those armpits and extend. Armpit to elbow, elbow to wrist, right through the fingertips. Draw from your outer elbows to your shoulders. And release and relax. Let your legs go. Take your arms up by your sides. Breathe into your shoulders. Breathe into your hips. Just let go. Completely let go. Yeah, just let the arms go, George. Just relaxing. Let the legs go too. All right, bend your legs again. Take hold of your strap. Bend your right leg into your chest. Put the strap around the foot where the heel meets the arch. Gentle grip. Soft shoulders, soft face. Again, press your thigh back. The thigh bone moving away from your face. The outer right hip moving away from your shoulder. Lengthen the inner leg. Draw from the outer knee to the outer hip. Drag your left heel on the floor, straighten your left leg. Again, keeping that right outer hip moving away from your shoulder, even as you straighten that left leg. Lengthening both inner legs, drawing from the outer knees to the outer hips. Taking a moment to become the observer, the seer. Now we're taking the leg out to the side. So reach up with the strap on your right hand. You can either take your left hand onto your left hip and thigh to keep that pressed down. If you prefer, you can take your hand out to the side. Turn the thigh in and take that right leg towards your face and out to the side. So it's about a 45-degree angle. You can rest your arm onto the floor, the right upper arm, that's fine. Keep the left hip down, the left thigh down. The abdomen moves from the right to the left. And lengthen through the inner leg. Soft shoulder, soft shoulder. Keep that left thigh down. Imagine I am coming around and I'm taking my foot on your left hip and I'm standing there, pushing it down. And some of you in the old days when we could touch, when we were touching people, had that gently. I wasn't really standing, but I would come around. I'd push down there. Can you imagine that is happening right now, even as you then extend through both legs and draw the outer knees to the outer hips? In the end, you worry more about strength and flexibility. You're already flexible enough here, so you have to really draw the outer knees to the outer hips, grip those muscles. Use the abdomen. Turn that left thigh in, toes up. There. Inhale, take that leg straight up. Take the leg straight up. And then take hold of the strap with your left hand. Take your right hand at the thigh where the thigh meets the hip. Push the thigh back and then take the right leg over to the left. And you don't have to go far before you feel that sensation. It might just be an inch. It might just be a millimeter, or maybe you're more flexible, it goes further, that's fine. But don't go past the pain. If you go deep into the pain, keep the leg straight. If you go deep into the pain, you're just going to want to come out of the pose more quickly. Don't let the foot move away from your face either. So everybody, come back up to center. Come back up to center. Notice where the foot is. Take the foot over the hip as best you can. And as you take your foot over to the left, right foot to the left, don't let it move further away from your face. And as soon as you feel the edge of the pain, that's where you stop. The leg will not open faster if you go deeper into the pain. It will just hurt more. And then inhale, take the leg back up to center. Bend your legs, switch legs. So left leg up. Thigh back. Hip moving back, lengthening the inner leg, drawing the outer knee to the outer hip. Dragging the right heel, straightening the right leg. So both thighs pressing back, both inner legs extending, both outer knees drawn to the outer hips, compact the hips, the outer left hip moving away from your shoulder. Hands soft, shoulders soft. Taking a moment to become the observer, the seer, the witnesser. Reach up with your left hand now. Your right hand again can either go on that right hip thigh because that can help keep it down. If you prefer, you can go out to the side and take your leg towards your face and out to the side in about a 45-degree angle. But keep that right thigh pressing down, keep the right hip pressing down. You can rest your left upper arm on the floor if you'd like, or you can reach out further down on the strap. Eventually you're holding your big toe. But press that right thigh down, either with your hand or with your mind. Extend through the inner legs, draw from the outer knees to the outer hips. Again, imagining that I'm coming around and I am pushing that right hip thigh down. Again, Carla, watch that right knee. Make sure the right heel is pressing down and the toes point up. Becoming the observer, the witnesser. Maintain the doing as you witness. So we don't give up the poses as we witness. We maintain the pose and observe. And then take your leg back up to center. Now hold the strap with your, what hand are we on now? Right hand, left hand at the top of the thigh. Push the thigh back. Use the left hand to push the thigh and hip away from you. Keep the foot where it is in turn. I mean, obviously it's going to move with your leg, but don't let it move away from your face and take the left leg over to the right. And again, it may not be far till you feel that opening of the leg. Stop there. There's no reason to go further. And then come back up to center. Take both legs in the strap. Keep your heels directly above your hips. Straight legs. Soften your shoulders in your hands. Iron your abdomen down. Iron your lower back down. Abdomen down. Lower back down. And then if you have control of the legs, you can release the strap, extend the arms overhead. But if you need that strap, that's okay. Just take hold of the strap. Abdomen down, lower back down. Abdomen down, lower back down. Lengthen the legs. Thigh bones still move away from the face. And then bend the legs into the chest. Place your feet on the floor. Straighten your legs on the floor. You can move the strap out of the way. Straighten your legs on the floor. Interlock your thumbs the opposite way you had them last time. And let's lengthen the whole body again. Feet together, heels together, toes together. And Carla, make sure you're pressing those heels so you don't take it in the knees. So everybody, press the heels and keep the heels pressing and then press the thighs down. But it shouldn't feel like the heels are coming up even in the tiniest bit. Lengthen the inner legs. Lengthen the inner arms. Hands are wide. So the thumbs are interlocked and then the pinkies spread away from each other. So the palms are facing the ceiling. That's it. So lengthen the inner arms and then draw from your outer elbows to your shoulders. So inner legs are lengthening. Inner arms are lengthening. Drawing the outer knees to the outer hips, outer elbows to the shoulders. And as you do this, as you extend those through the limbs, extend through the torso. The front bottom ribs move towards the back body, lengthening through the side ribs. And then take a moment to become the observer, the witnesser, the seer. And release and relax. Arms up by your sides, palms up. Let your legs go completely. Breathe into your shoulders. Breathe into your hips. Breathe into your shoulders. Breathe into your hips. Bend your legs, roll to the side. Come up onto your hands and knees. We're doing downward facing dog. If you want to use blocks or the chair, then please do so. Press down through the balls of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out. Push into the floor. Lengthen through the arms. Turn your toes under. Straighten your legs. Inhale. Push into the floor. Really lengthen. Now maintain that length as you exhale, taking your thighs back, taking your chest towards your thighs, taking your sit bones towards the ceiling. Push into your hands to get your thighs back more. Pull back with your thighs to take the weight off of the shoulders and wrists. And extend your outer heels towards the floor as you lift the outer hips up. Sit bones high. Sit bones high. So everyone, bend your legs slightly, and take your sit bones nice and high. George, feet further apart. Feet further apart. Bend your legs slightly, take your sit bones really high. As high as you can get them. As high as you can get them. And then keep those sit bones nice and high. Take your chest towards your thighs and keep your sit bones high and straighten your legs. Take your heels to the floor, towards the floor as you straighten your legs. But don't let the sit bones come down as you straighten those legs. Then look up, walk your feet forward, sweep your arms back, extend your chest forward. Inhale, come up and come into Tadasana. Feet together. If you want, feet hip distance apart with the feet, the heels under the hip sockets, that's fine. Otherwise, feet together. If the feet are together, the balls of the toes are touching, the inner heels are touching. If the feet are apart, please make sure that the feet are pointing forward, that the feet are doing the same thing, that one's not forward and one's turned out, or one's a little turned out and one's a lot turned out, but have them both pointing forward. Press the thighs back. Lengthen the inner thighs from the inner knees to the lower abdomen. Equal weight on each foot. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact the hips together. Lifting up through the side ribs. Keep the front bottom ribs towards the back body. As you take the front bottom ribs towards the back body, take the back bottom ribs towards the front body, as if they are seeking to meet each other. They don't meet, but imagine they are seeking to meet each other. The front bottom ribs move back. The back bottom ribs move forward. Extend through the arms. And the same thing when we were lying back, we said lengthen the inner legs, draw the outer knees to the outer hips, lengthen the inner arms, draw from the outer elbows to the shoulders. Same thing here. Lengthen the inner legs, draw the outer knees to the outer hips. Lengthen the inner arms, draw from the outer elbows to the shoulders. And observe, become the observer. Take your arms out to the sides. Drop the shoulders. Don't lift with the shoulders. Lift with the armpits. Drop the shoulders. Rotate the arms up. Notice how the ribs immediately come forward. Take the front bottom ribs towards the back body. Now the palms face the ceiling. Fingers are straight. From your armpits, push your arms up. The shoulders go down as the arms go up. Keep the front ribs towards the back body. Are you still balanced evenly on the feet? Still lengthen the inner legs. Draw the outer knees to the outer hips. Lengthen the inner arms. Draw the outer elbows to the shoulders. And then pull up with your hands to become longer. But then from your side ribs, push your whole arms up. Turn your hands out to the sides. Exhale, come down. Everybody, go get a chair. Have a chair. Have a chair to, let's see, to the left side of your body. And you want the back of the chair facing you. It's going to be a support. We're going to balance. Because balancing helps with concentration. Balancing helps with focus. Other things too, you cannot balance unless you focus your mind. So it even helps as we move to balancing to pick a point in the distance ahead of you, maybe slightly down, not straight down here, but slightly down in the distance or forward. They call it a drishti, but it's a gazing point that helps you focus. So both legs are in Tadasana now. And you can have your left hand just gently over the chair. That's just for a support. And if you don't need it, you don't have to have it. We're doing Vrikshasana, tree pose. Turn your right leg out. The foot is still on the floor. The heel is at your opposite ankle. But stand strongly in now the straight leg. So the thigh presses back and really lift the outer knee to the outer hip. And you can have that chair. That's fine. And then lift the right leg up. And here's the thing, now lift it even higher. Now take hold of the ankle and place the heel as high as it goes on your leg, and that'll be different for everyone. Don't have it on your knee. It can be at your calf, that's fine too. This is a fine version of Vrikshasana. And above the knee is a fine version of Vrikshasana, but not on the knee because that'll put undue pressure. Lift, standing leg, lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Now lengthen the groins, both groins, and draw on that bent leg, the outer knee to the outer hip. Draw the femur bone deep into the hip socket. And there you are. If you have your balance, you're welcome to take your palms together, but you have the chair there. If you're holding onto the chair, you can extend one arm up. And if you have your balance, you can take both arms up. You can bring palms at the chest and then the arms up, or just take one arm up and the other arm up. Gaze at that gazing point. And take your arms down. And take your foot down. And come back to Tadasana. Take the chair on the other side. So the chair's to help with stability today. There are lots of ways to use the chair in this pose. And you can use the wall for stability too, that's fine. Turn your left leg out. But stand firmly on that right leg. That means it's Tadasana. So the thigh moves back, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. And then lift your left leg up. Wait, how'd you get backwards? And then lift it up more. And then take hold of the ankle. The toes point straight down. Now that standing leg, you have to come back to it. Notice if you're falling into the outer foot. From the right outer hip, straight leg hip, push down into the inner foot of the straight leg. So from the right outer hip, press into the inner right foot. And that may help give you more stability. Again, gazing at that drishti, the gazing point. Now lengthen the inner thighs. Draw both outer knees to outer hips. And then, you can take your hands at your heart if you want, or you can take one arm up. Test that out. And if you have your balance, you can take the other arm up. And if you lose it, hey, the chair's right there, right? From that right outer hip, press into the inner foot. If you fall, we celebrate. But the chair's also right there, so you can use that chair. And then everybody take your arms down. Release the leg. Tadasana. Make sure your toes are straight. If your feet are apart, you can always double check those feet. That chair to the other side. Turn the leg out. The right leg. That left leg, thigh back, lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Lift the leg up. Lift it higher. And let's do that a few times. Put the leg down. Actually, take the leg straight forward first. Straight forward, bend. And then lift it higher. You can even take your hand around your knee or one. Yeah, maybe you need the chair. And lift it higher. Lift it higher. Higher than you think you can. And then put it back down. And then turn it out to the side. And lift it. And then lift it higher than you think you can. All of us, we lift it, but there's always a little bit more that we can get. Then take the ankle and place it wherever it goes. From the outer left hip, press into the inner left foot. Still drawing from the outer knee to the outer hip. So there's a lift in, outer knee to outer hip, and then pushing down from that hip into the inner foot. Now you may notice that your heel is pressing into your thigh. I want you to press your thigh equally into your heel. So the left thigh pushes into the right heel. The straight leg thigh pushes into the heel. So it's equal. It's 50-50. Now lengthen the groins, draw both outer knees from the outer hips. And as that thigh presses into the heel, your right knee, try and push it towards the floor. Lengthen the right groin and push your knee towards the floor. And then bring the right arm up if you'd like. Left arm up if you'd like. Chair is also there if you need it. It's fine. And then arms down, leg down. Tadasana. Other side. So stand on the right leg, lift the left leg up straight ahead of you first, straight ahead. And then lift it higher. And then put it down. And then lift it again. And then lift it higher. And put it down. And then lift it again. And lift it higher, and then take a hold of it with around the shin or behind the knee, depending on what works for you, with one leg, maybe both hands if you have balance, but you have the chair there, and lift it, not with the ankle, take hold of the shin so that you can lift it higher. Now, don't lift the hip as you do that, lift the leg as you do that. The hip's not going, the hip actually goes lower. In fact, the lower down you can get that hip, the higher you can get the leg. And we've done, right? We've done this pose lying back, right? Does this look familiar? Lying back, one leg straight, one leg bent. Everybody in this room has done that. Everybody there has done that. All right, now turn the leg out to the side. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Lift the leg up. Lift it higher. Take hold of the ankle, and then place that heel as high as you can get it. Not fighting with your body, but as high as it goes today. Standing leg, lift the outer knee to the outer hip. From that outer hip, press into the inner foot. Notice the heel against the thigh. You want them to press equally, so the thigh has to press against the heel. The heel automatically presses against the thigh. So you have to press the thigh against the heel. Lengthen both groins, draw the outer knees to the outer hips. Then as you draw the outer knees to the outer hips, as you lengthen the groins, that bent leg, the left leg, the foot doesn't move, but the heel, the knee moves closer to the floor. It's more energy. You're not going to see it. I just moved it. You guys didn't see it. You can't see it move. But the energy is directing the knee towards the floor. And the changes I experience are in my breath and in my mind when I do that. And if you'd like, extend one arm up, maybe the other arm. Maybe you fall. Maybe you witness. Maybe you become the witness. Maybe this is the day you get a glimpse. Take your arms out to the sides. Release your leg. Tadasana. Downward facing dog on the chair. Hands on the chair. Walk back. Thighs back. Lengthen the inner thighs, draw the outer knees to the outer hips. Press the hands flat. Press down through the ball of the first finger and thumb as you rotate the upper arms out, lengthening through the inner arms, lengthening through the side ribs, lengthening through the inner legs. Press the outer heels down as you lift the outer hips up. Take the shoulder blades into the body. Take the shoulder blades into the body as if you were trying to use the shoulder blades to move the chest forward. Carla, lift the arches of your feet. Yeah, don't lift the heel, just the inner arch. That's it. Yes. Now only can see your right foot, so make sure the left foot is doing what the right foot is doing. The right foot looks really good. Look up, arc your feet forward. Tadasana. You can take the chair off of your mat. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose, fingertips up by your chest, bend your legs, jump or step wide. Drop the shoulders. Bounce evenly on the feet, it's the wide stance. Even here, lift the arches, Carla. Yeah, great. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Take your front heel in line with your back arch. George, make sure those front toes point straight forward in wider stance if it's accessible to you. Press the outer rim of the back heel so that back thigh needs to come back, not the knee, the thigh, the leg follows. Press into the heel, turn the front thigh out, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Now reach through that back arm, inhale, exhale, take your right hand down, left arm up. Don't worry about how far down you go, worry about how open your chest is. So lean back, Carla, lean back, George. Now the whole torso goes back. Imagine you're leaning against the wall. That was a good correction you just did, Leanne. Press into the back heel, turn the thigh. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Now rotate the torso and extend those arms away from each other. And George, if that top arm isn't extending, you just take that on your hip. That's fine. And you work on the rotation of the torso. And then reach up with the top arm, pull yourself up and out with the arm. Parallel your feet. We'll go right over to the other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. That back thigh goes back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out, lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Keep pressing that back heel as you exhale, come down. And again, you can keep the arm up, George, but if it's easier, hand on hip, that's better. Feel that openness? That's nice. Press the back heel, turn that front thigh out. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. So seek, Carla, the front leg straight without pushing the shin bone down, but by lifting the outer knee to the outer hip, pulling the femur bone into the socket, and allow that to straighten the leg. Extend those arms away from each other. The hands are part of the pose if the arm's extended. And then with that top arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Lift your right heel up. Make your arch longer. So from the balls of the toes through to the heel, make that longer and place the heel down. And then from the heel, lift the balls of the toes up and extend from the heel to the balls of the toes. Make your foot longer and press the balls of the toes down. See if they can all touch at the same time. And then once the balls of the toes are down, just let the toes themselves drop. Does that foot feel a little bit longer? Yes, no, maybe? We got one yes, all right. One yes in the room. Okay, we got a couple maybes. Lift the toes up again. See if you can, it's as if you're dragging the foot forward. The heel won't move, but see if you can make that foot longer as you press the balls of the toes down. And then let the toes fall. And we'll do the other foot. Lift the heel up first. This one doesn't come so much, but from the balls of the toes, extend to the heel and let the heel go down. Anyway, I don't feel that like a teeny bit. That's kind of a maybe to me. And then lift the toes up from the heel, really from where the heel meets the arch, lengthen to where the balls of the toes meets the arch, and then keep taking the balls of the toes forward, forward, and then place them down. Have them touch at the same time. And then let the toes fall. I'll do that again. Lift the toes and extend from the heel where the heel meets the arch to where the balls of the toes meet the arch. Lengthen, make it longer. And then place the balls of the toes down, see if you can get them even, and then let the toes fall. Sort of, maybe. Take your feet together. Fingertips up, bend your legs. Jump or step your feet apart. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Take your hands on your hips for a moment. Now, yes, press into the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. On the front foot, lift the toes up. From where the heel meets the arch, lengthen to the balls of the toes and make your foot longer. Think it longer. And then place the balls of the toes down and then just let the toes rest. Now you have to go back to the heel and make sure the heel is still pressing. Now extend the arms. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Inhale. Exhale, come down. Take your hand on your hip, top hand on your hip. Lift the toes of your front foot. Lengthen the foot from where the heel meets the arch to the balls of the toes. Make it long, 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 long. Place the balls of the toes down and then just rest the toes. Press the back heel. Now rotate the torso and extend the arm up. Observe your pose, become the witness. Inhale, come up and out. Parallel your feet. Hands on hips for a moment. Because I'm in a good mood. It's a new year. Right? This is the first class I'm teaching in the new year. Arms out. Left foot in, right leg out. Actually, just take the hands back on the hips. I could have just left them there. So front heel in line with your back arch. Back thigh back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Is your knee okay, Carla? Okay, don't jam it. Lift it by getting that upward action, okay? And if it bothers you, then I'm going to give you a prop. Lift your front heel. From where the heel meets the arch, lengthen, make your foot longer. Get those balls of the toes to move across the room so that the arch of your foot actually becomes longer. And then place the balls of the toes down, maybe evenly, although that's hard for me to do. And then just rest the toes. Now you have to bring some awareness to that back leg because it's all in the front leg now. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips, extend the arms. Inhale, exhale, come down. Top hand at your hip. Lift up that front foot. Extend, make it longer from the heel to the balls of the toes. Make it longer, so lift up the front toes, long, long, long. Move the balls of the toes towards the front of the room and then place them down. Then just let the toes rest. Now press into the back heel again. Rotate the torso. Arm up. Observe your pose. Become the witness, the seer. Inhale up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Balance evenly on the feet, thighs back. Lift the outer knees, the outer hips, lift through the side ribs. Take your arms out to the sides. Rotate the arms up. Ribs in. Inhale, come up. Push through the feet, extend through the arms. So how do we extend through the arms? Turn the triceps towards your nose. Pull the hands up, but then from your side ribs, push the arms up. Push the arms up from your side ribs, not just pulling with the hands. Sometimes we teach one, sometimes we teach the other. Now I'm saying do both. Do pull with the hands, but then push. Push the whole arm up with your side ribs. And turn your arms out to the sides. Exhale, come down. All right, take your chair. See, how do I want to do this? Take it, have the back of your chair facing front, and it's at the edge of the mat. So turn the chairs around so they face me. The back of the chair faces me, sorry. So back of the chair faces me or faces your camera, and it's to the right side of the mat. Yes? Your right foot is going to be about a foot away from the chair. We're doing Ardha Chandrasana. We're continuing with the balancings, but we're going to have balancings with the support of the chair. Further away. The right leg is forward, but about a foot away from the chair. More. Because you're there. Well, because you also have you have to be longer because you have a longer side. Now bend your leg, lean forward, and take your forearm on the chair and curl your fingers. No grip, but just let your fingers rest across the back of the chair, and take your left hand on the bar of the chair. Now the front thigh does turn out. Now you're going to straighten your standing leg by lifting the outer knee to the outer hip as you lift your back leg up. Use that top arm to help rotate the torso. So the standing leg, from the outer right hip, press into the inner foot. Turn your torso. Turn your torso. Use that top arm to turn your torso. So the torso is parallel to the front and back wall. That's it, Veronica. Lift your back leg up. Take your right ribs forward, left ribs back. And let your head go back. Let your head go. There, Veronica. Nice. And then bend your front leg. Let your back leg come down. And then come to standing. Well, that was fun, huh? Let's do the other side, shall we? And here's the thing. Turn the chair around, George. Here's the thing. If you're too close to the chair, just watch. If you're too close to the chair, it doesn't work because there's no space here, right? So you need to have that distance from the chair so that there is space here, all right? So have your left foot about a foot or so away from the chair. In reality, you have to kind of figure this out on your own because it's a little different because everyone's torso is a different length, right? So in a way, you do have to figure it out a little bit. But bend your front leg. The back foot can walk in. It might come up a little bit. The forearm comes on the chair. Just drape the fingers over. Take that top hand on the back of the chair. That top hand is important for helping you turn. Now, the front leg, the thigh turns out, and then lift the outer knee to the outer hip as you lift that back leg up. Turn towards me, George. Oh, switch legs, George. George, switch legs. The left, did I say it wrong? The left leg is forward. Left leg is forward. Use that top hand to help push down on the top hand to rotate the torso. Lift the standing leg, outer knee to outer hip. And then from that hip, push into the inner foot, just like Trikonasana. And then lift the back leg up. Then bend your leg, come down. All right, that looked pretty good so far. Let's try it again. Other side. Because for some of you, it's the first time doing this, or first time in a while, because honestly, I haven't even taught it in a while. Back of the chair facing forward. There you go. So play with the distance. If it felt too far, sure, go forward. But most people make the mistake of getting too close to the chair. So you need that space. Bend your leg and take your forearm down. Top hand on the back of the chair. Now lift that front outer knee to outer hip. Right leg is forward. Right leg is forward. Lift the front outer knee to outer hip, right leg. You want it perpendicular to the floor. Don't have that leg at an angle. And then from your hip, standing leg, press into the inner foot, not the outer foot. Now press with that hand, top hand, to turn the torso, take your head back also. So the head goes back, the whole, it's just like you're leaning against the wall again. Now with the leg that is up, don't just lift the foot, but lift the thigh. Can you lift your leg up from the thigh? And don't just take the foot back, take your thigh closer to the wall behind you. Standing leg thigh, closer to the wall behind you. Right buttock forward. Top leg thigh back. Standing leg buttock forward. I know, right? This is a hip opener too. Bend the leg. Take your foot down. Other side. Give yourself some space. But not so much. If you're too far back, then your leg's at an angle, right? So you have to find the sweet spot. Take your foot, take your forearm down. Now standing leg, turn the thigh out. The left leg is forward now. And then lift the outer knee to the outer hip. As you lift the back leg and as you turn the torso, use that top hand to help you turn the torso. And lean back. The head goes back too. Imagine the torso and the head are both leaning against the same wall. Turn the front thigh out. Turn that standing leg thigh out, Carla. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip, and from that hip, press into the inner foot. Now the top leg, lift the thigh up. Don't just lift the foot up, but lift the thigh up. Veronica, your standing leg is at an angle, so you need to take your the thigh and hip back of your standing leg. Yeah. More. But it's better. Lift the thigh up and take the thigh, top leg, take the thigh towards the wall behind you so that the hip follows. The thigh goes back, the hip goes back. And then bend your front leg, come down. We might have to practice that pose more this year. Let's see. Tadasana. Just do a little check-in. Thighs back. Lengthen the inner legs. Draw the outer knees to the outer hips. Front bottom moves towards the back body. Arms out to the side. Rotate the arms up. From the armpits, push the arms up. Pull with the hands, and then as you push through the feet, use your side ribs and push your arms up. So your feet push down. From the side ribs, you're pushing up. Triceps towards the nose. So rotate those triceps towards the nose, George. That's the one. And then push up. And turn your hands out to the sides. Exhale. Come down. Shoulders away from your ears. Lie back on your mat. Have your legs bent, feet on the floor. Arms are out to the sides like a T. Take your thighs together. Bend your legs into your chest. Keep your thighs together. Turn your abdomen from the right to the left as your knees go to the right elbow. Push your right thigh, the bottom thigh pushes into the top thigh so that your thighs can stay together. Push into the right shoulder so that your left shoulder stays down. Your abdomen moves from the right to the left as the knees go to the right. And take your left outer hip away from your left shoulder. Push with the bottom leg. Inhale, come up. Place your feet on the floor, square your hips and square your shoulders. Bend your legs into your chest. Extend through the left fingertips. Keep those thighs together. Take your knees to the left. The abdomen turns to the right as the knees go to the left. The bottom thigh pushes into the top thigh. Thighs stay together. Push the left shoulder down to keep the right shoulder down. Again, abdomen turning to the right as the knees go to the left. Now take your right outer hip away from your right shoulder. With the lower leg, push to come up, inhaling. Place the feet on the floor. Bend your legs into your chest, hold around your shins, or behind your knees is fine too. Then hold around your right shin only. Place your left foot on the floor, and then drag your left heel to straighten your left leg. So this is where we were before when we were preparing for Vrikshasana tree pose. We're in the same pose now. Just lying back. Take your right outer hip away from your right shoulder. Draw your right thigh towards your torso as you extend through the inner left leg. Then the left leg into the chest. Hold around the left shin only. Take the right foot on the floor. Drag the right heel, straighten the right leg. That right thigh turns in. Take the left outer hip away from your left shoulder. So the two sides of your torso are equal in length. Draw the left thigh down as you extend through the inner right leg. We're still lengthening the groins, the inner thighs, the groins, still drawn from the outer knees to the outer hips. Soften the shoulders. Bend the right leg next to the left. Give yourself a hug. Become the witness. Become the seer of this pose, of this practice. The purpose of yoga is to still the fluctuations of the mind so that you can bathe in your own true splendor. As the witness, can you observe you bathing in your own true splendor? Take your feet to the floor. Straighten your legs one at a time. Let your legs fall out to the side. Take your arms out to the sides comfortably for you today. If you'd like a lift underneath your knees, certainly take one, or calves on a chair is fine. Let go. Rest your eyes into your cheekbones. Let the legs go. Let the arms go. Let the torso surrender. Let the skull, facial features surrender. Become a witness to the body. Become a witness to the body that is laying on the floor. Become a witness to the body that is surrendering to the Mother Earth. Become a witness, the seer, as the breath breathes this body. Witness yourself in Shavasana. Begin to deepen the inhalation and lengthen the exhalation. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your nose. Gently rub your thumb across the tips of your forefingers. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor with your knees together, feet apart. Knees together, feet apart. Place your hands onto your abdomen or onto your chest. Let the healing energy of your hands penetrate your body, pierce through your layers, and heal whatever it is you may need healing with today. When you feel ready, extend your right arm past your right ear, roll to the right, or if you prefer rolling to the left, roll to the left. That's fine. Pick a side. Rest your ear into your upper arm, rest on your side. When you feel ready, place your top hand on the floor in front of your heart. Turn your torso towards the floor first. Push to come up. Come up chest first, head last. Bring your palms together. Take a moment to observe your practice as the witness, not just as the doer, not just as, well, this feels different, this pain is gone. But as the observer, the witnesser. What do you witness? Let's close our practice by chanting one collective Om. Deep inhalation. Om. Gently let your eyes open. Big smile. Namaste. Bow to the divine within you.